So today we're going to talk about testing. Every product, and especially every app, is based on a set of hypotheses, whether they're implicit or explicit. It's based on a set of assumptions, a set of things that the creators of that product or app are thinking will happen if they build that app. Some examples of this: Twitter, for example, 140 characters, short text, broadcast it to anyone. What is that perfect for? Breaking news. And Twitter has kind of morphed into the de facto place to break news. Snapchat, deleting content as soon as it's viewed is likely to, have people not only share more private content, but also share content more frequently. That was one of the main assumptions that they based the app on, and that's proven to be true. Like I said, any product, you want to try to be as explicit with these assumptions, these hypotheses as possible. And I should say hypotheses, not necessarily assumptions, because ultimately that's what they are. They're an educated guess. I think this will happen if we build it like this. So you want to be very clear of those things so that once you actually put the product out, you can get to step number 2, which is actually tracking how those hypotheses are doing. Are people behaving in the way that we expected them to? Let's take the Snapchat example. Are they sending more messages? How frequently is that? Are they responding quicker to each other? On Twitter, is more news breaking? Are people posting more frequently about certain topics? Track these types of things. And so over time, you'll be able to see, is this hypothesis correct? Where did we go wrong? Are there other factors in play? And you can kind of somewhat judge that with the data. The final part of testing is qualitative feedback. So no matter how much data, in terms of numbers and actual usage you're able to collect, there's a certain part of that numbers can't necessarily give the full picture on. And that's where you need to get out and talk to your users. Talk to your users. If it's another type of product, obviously, if it's an album or whatnot, talk to your listeners. If it's a movie, talk to your viewers. But talk to the customers of the product and understand, why are you using this product? What don't you like about it? What do you like about it? And try to see, do those assumptions hold with what you originally thought? It's totally fine, by the way, if they don't. In many ways, it's good because you're learning something. You're learning that your initial hypothesis was wrong, and now you can kind of make an adjustment to that end. And so I think this whole testing philosophy and methodology is really important to have in place really from day one. You don't really know how your product is doing unless you're testing it. And so I think setting that up, obviously I talked a few weeks ago about the hypotheses that Outspoken is built on. But over the last couple weeks, I've also put into place a lot of these tracking mechanisms so that we can see how are users using it. How will they be using it? What are the most important things we need to be looking out for to see if people are using it as expected. Once it's obviously in people's hands, then it comes to that qualitative part, setting up user interviews and just talking to people who are using the app. Like I said, why are you using this? How can it be more helpful to you? And then, using that data to adjust going forward. Ultimately, that process is what makes a great idea into a great product and a great experience for the end user. So testing, super important. More and more, I'm realizing how important it is and kind of being more methodical about it. So I encourage anybody, if you're working on a product, have a firm testing system in place so you can see how well is this doing and how should I adjust it. So what did I work on this week? The first thing is the add edit photo function, which I kind of had in place, but I tweaked it to make it right this week. A user uploads a profile photo, we'll upload that to the server, and then update their profile to reflect the new profile photo. Second thing was unit test. I added a unit test for the explore flow. So basically a user going to the explore page, viewing the topics, tapping into a topic detail page, and then from there tapping into a clip and viewing that clip. And then finally, the search bar functionality, finally got that working. Used actually a third-party library for that, where they developed the search bar to work with Swift UI, which is really helpful. Pretty seamless process, got the search bar working. Again, search works for both users and topics, so should be a really good experience for users. So what am I working on next week? First thing is going to be clip views. So we want to track, just like YouTube and TikTok, how many views for each individual clip, and maybe show that for the user. So implementing the actual tracking of the clip, and then maybe also displaying that as well. We'll also have a Ruby's explanation page. So a really clear page that you can access from your profile that shows you what is the whole Ruby economy, why do we have this in the app, how do you use it to your advantage, making all of that crystal clear within the app itself. And then finally, wildcard as always. I'll update you guys on that next week. Like, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts. Again, if you're working on something, I'd love to hear about it. Talk to you guys next week.